So I was excited to hear Amanda had some ideas for this week's episode. She texted me and she was like, not that she was telling me what it was, but through the text, I felt some emotion, some excitement from her about this episode. So I got kind of excited myself.
I hadn't seen you that excited in a long time.
Well, I was like, maybe there's a turning point. Something has happened.
No, it hadn't. Sorry.
Yeah, and then when I got home, and then when you got home, and then I'm like, I didn't see any effort being put forth before we record this. I thought, I had high hopes.
She's got nothing.
Well, I even tried. You even asked something, and I looked something up and shot it to you on the phone, and
we might go there.
I saw you not even look at it. So I'm like, am I just wasting my time?
Welcome back, folks. First off,
go ahead. I had something to say.
I'm jumping in.
Go ahead.
First off, today is World Down Syndrome Day. So I just want to shout out all our friends that have Down syndrome or have kids that have Down syndrome. I've started following this. I think she's 23 maybe. And she has her own little business. She draws and she puts what she draws, she puts it on shirts. So I wore my Down syndrome shirt today. So we're recording on March the 21st. So 3/21 is National Down Syndrome Day. So just a shout out to all those people with Down syndrome. We appreciate you and you're special.
That's right. We have several friends, families that, have a child with it.
Yep.
That's cool. But you know what? Yeah, I could actually start a rant right here.
No, I know what you're going to say.
What was I going to say?
You're going to say, everything's got to have a day.
That's right. We dedicate a month to something, and then every day is something.
That's right. March is National Women's Month, and I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't even get a day off.
Imagine that. You don't have nothing.
I don't even get off.
No, imagine that. You don't have anything.
I don't have nothing.
All right, so the last episode, if you listen to the last episode, I told the story about me getting a ticket, which I wasn't going to say anything about it, but of course, Amanda has to bring that up. But in the story, I said the lady in front of me, she was going to turn left, but I misspoke and she was going to turn right. Now, that makes a big deal if I'm going to pass somebody that's going to turn left or right. She wasn't turning left, she was turning right.
You're going to get smacked if she's turning left.
Yeah, that would have been really crazy on my part if I was going to do that. So that just bothered me. When I heard that, I was like, did I really say that? So,
you really did.
Yeah, well, I know I did, but
I have evidence.
So, yeah, that was bothering me. So, now it's out there, I feel better. All right, let me cover a couple of updates real quick. On the way home on our road in our neighborhood, past two neighbors, waved at both of them, and I'm 0 for 2 from getting a wave back. All right, so there's my update on that. Happens every day. They wave at you, right?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay. I've even had one.
Depends on if I'm flying or not.
Even when they walk,
they give me the how you doing sign if I'm flying.
So yeah, that's right, because you and Nicholas kind of go a little bit faster. I always tell, especially Nicholas, I say, look, if somebody's walking, especially with their dog, slow way down if they got, because this road, you can't go, I think the speed limit's 25 or 20, and to me, that's really fast on this road. But if you're passing somebody and they're walking, it does seem like you're flying if you're doing 25 or 20. It does. Yeah, especially because you don't want their little doggies or whatever. But when is it too early to throw your hand out there and wave? I see some, maybe I'm guilty of it too, but I see some of them like, you started to wave.
Yeah, they throw it early.
A long way off.
We have a neighbor on our road that throws it early.
So am I supposed to just hold the wave all the way through?
Just hold it there. Just do the wave. Do the pageant wave.
I'm not doing that little slow swing back and forth.
Do the pageant wave.
Rotate your palm of your hand. And another thing.
We started the rants early.
Well, this isn't a rant. I'm not. But I did see a huge Christmas wreath hanging on someone's house. And which one I'm talking about.
Yep.
We see it every day.
Every day.
And it's like
every day.
This person could reach 2 feet from their front door and yank that thing off. It's a huge wreath. But we're creeping up to April, people. That's all I'm saying. And
so I was watching a TikTok the other day, a TikTok live, and this lady started talking about, because when you're doing a TikTok live, you just want to get people talking to you. So she brought this subject up, and I'm like, no way, she's about to talk about this.
You talking about the Christmas?
Talking about the Christmas lights. And she said, okay, be honest. Who still has Christmas lights or Christmas decorations up? And half the people on there said that they do. They still have their tree up and their lights. And she's like, no, y'all don't. And so I had to get on there and tell her that we had this conversation on mine and my husband's podcast 2 weeks ago or however. Well, we started it out, didn't we, with that? But I could not believe how many people said they still have some decorations up. It was crazy.
Would you really admit it if you had your tree up?
I don't know.
Like
and,
what?
And, well, like now, some of them said they had their tree up. Some of them didn't have decorations on it, but they left their tree up. Some of them will put like another holiday on their tree, but they still call it the Christmas tree is up. So I don't know, but I just thought that was funny when she asked that question, and then I'm like, really?
Would you call it just like a seasonal tree if you're going to swap it out? Is that a name?
If you're going to swap it out, call it something else.
Now, is it different if it's just full blown? I haven't taken an ornament off. I've still got the angel on top. I even have the lights on at night sometimes. Or if they've got like 3 boxes sitting beside it and there's some ornament sitting on their kitchen table where they started a month ago taking it down and that's as far as they got. Is there a difference?
Sometimes things happen. They couldn't get to it.
Really?
Yeah. We've done it before. We hadn't been this long.
A day or two. Not a month, 2 months. I'm not reliving this. All right,
let's go.
No, I got, and I saw a wooden Santa. All right, this is like, I'm going to say 10 foot tall, but it's a Santa Claus, and he's standing on the elf's shoulders, and it's leaned up against a chimney on a house. I saw that this week.
I bet that thing's been there for 10 years. I bet it never comes down.
Maybe it's a little bit too heavy to deal with. Maybe it's a hassle putting it back.
Up?
Why not leave it? But like I said.
Well, you know, Santa's watching. So, I mean, he's still out there, so he's watching you. So,
I guess.
They're just leaving it up because Santa's watching.
But this brings me back to my original statement. If you're going to put it up, you got to take it down.
They don't.
If you're not going to take it down, don't put it up. All right, I'll update y'all in a month. All right, so a month from today, we'll relive this.
And see if
I'll see if
those two things are still up.
The huge reef.
You better write that down because you won't remember it.
I will remember.
Neither one of us will remember.
I'll remember because it's Christmas and I'm on the lookout for Christmas. Third thing I've got is the white truck hoarder update. I didn't talk about it last week, but I'm still seeing it. But the gas station I go to get gas almost every morning, it's not the one that I hit my microphone. It's not the one that I see this truck at. But so I'm going, and you got to remember, this is 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm, so it's dark and all that. So, I get to this gas station. When I'm wheeling in to go to my regular spot, guess who's parked at the pump in front of where I'm going to be at?
The white truck.
Wow, how'd you know?
I don't know.
Because I kind of led.
It's a good guess.
Yeah, it was. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, I eased on in
He was
there.
like, what the heck?
I was like, what the heck? Can you believe it? I was like, this dude, am I stalking him or is he stalking me or is it a she? I have no idea. But got my phone out, took a picture just so I can show y'all if Amanda would let me, but she won't.
No, we're not going there.
I'm just saying the back of the truck, the stuff that is hanging out, I have no idea how it's like strategically stuck in there and it's not falling out. But anyway, this is my point. So the person, I'm not going to say if it's a man or woman, the person was standing outside the vehicle but was turned to where I couldn't and kind of hunched over like they're looking in the side door of the door or whatever, or in the floorboard. So I had no idea what this person was, anything like that. So I get out, and I'm doing my thing with the, getting the gas started. And I just kept looking at it. And I thought this will be the perfect opportunity for me to maybe say, hey, if the person looks at me and if they say, hey, back, maybe I can strike up a conversation. And maybe that could lead me to witnessing to them, or we'll just see how it goes. So
you like that part about your job,
Ben? I do. I have been to so many gas stations. There's especially one big one. And I would say about once a month, maybe twice a month, I would run into somebody that needed help or the conversation would come up to where I could squeeze Jesus in there. And I've had some really good conversations with people. And so anyway, so this person finally kind of raises up and looks my way, and I think, here we go. So I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And this person just stared right through me and didn't say a word or anything like that. So I kind of like, well, I guess this is as far as our interaction's going to go.
That's it.
And
That's all she wrote.
Yeah. I just thought that was kind of interesting how I've been talking about this vehicle, and then I had a close encounter. So there's my 3 updates for
That's
it
your
this week.
3.
Pollen's everywhere. It's here.
Yep. Have to take my eyes out as soon as I get home now.
Why? Because they're dry.
They hurt. They're dry. They hurt.
Sinuses.
Yep. Nose has stopped up. Sneezing all day.
Already?
Already.
Is it Claritin time?
I don't know what it is.
I don't think I'm quite there yet, but the whole dry eye thing is definitely here. That and carpenter bees. Have you seen the carpenter bees?
They were out about 2 weeks ago at a bush where I work at.
But does everybody know what a carpenter bee is? You think everybody out there knows what a carpenter bee is?
I don't know.
It's not a bumblebee. You know, they don't sting you.
No, they just drill holes all over your house.
They drill a hole. If you got wood, they're going to drill holes in it. And so the more I can kill, the better in my book. We have a tennis racket out there.
Yeah, you throw your arm out all the time trying to hit them.
Oh, yeah. This was back a long time ago. I can just remember my dad growing up. He had a badminton racket up there in his garage, and he would stay up there, and one would fly by, and he'd ding it with it.
So is that where you get it from?
I guess so. So now I've just upgraded to a tennis racket, and then we have a walking stick. And the walking stick is if you just think that you just swing it at it. If
You've lost your mind.
If you're feeling lucky,
hit it with a walking stick.
Well, you can. I'm not saying swing it like a baseball bat, but you like come from behind the bat and go straight down. So I hope there's no haters out there because I kill carpenter bees. Trust me, there's 20 more behind the one that I kill.
You're in trouble now.
I'm sure, but that's okay.
You killed bees. You triggered somebody.
Yeah, probably so. All right, so what's going on this week?
Nothing much. We ain't done nothing much.
So did you see, this is kind of more of a local thing or a regional thing from Birmingham, but that Carly Russell girl, it's probably been a year now, but do you know what she did? Have you seen the news today?
Yeah.
She pled guilty. She was the one that claimed to see a little kid wandering around. Was it on the interstate?
Yep.
And then
at
nighttime, and she supposedly pulled over, and then she gets kidnapped. Isn't that the way the story went?
Yeah, because it was from a movie or something, wasn't it?
Well, but they were, after the fact, they were thinking that.
Yeah.
But she was so she's kidnapped, and she's missing for 48 hours. And then, does she end up?
She just walks home.
Yeah, she just ends up, like, back home. And then nobody's talking. They can't find out anything. Anyway, so today she was in court. She'd been in court before this, but today I guess it's official. She pled guilty to lying about the whole thing. There was no little kid. There was no getting kidnapped. And she was supposed to actually come out today and tell where she was and who she was with for those 48 hours, but she didn't do that. And the bad thing about it, because what the police department was trying to do was all the manpower, and they had helicopters and all this stuff out there for her to, like, pay back all the expenses that it cost.
It said she had to pay it back.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
saw that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I saw the amount it was.
Well, I just know that they were complaining about it, and they wanted it. And then I was just...
I mean, she should have to pay it back.
Oh, yeah. But the whole thing about it was she was supposed to let them know today. I think that was part of the deal, was you've got to tell us where you were the whole time. And that didn't happen today. But the bad thing about it is there's no jail time at all. It was going to be... She's got like 100 hours.
Probation.
Yeah, 1 year probation or something, and then 100 hours community service. She's supposed to go back in October, and the judge is supposed to see how far along she is with her community service, something like that. But if you looked at her mugshot, she's smiling. So, I mean, she apparently it's just for attention. Now, whether she thought it was a good idea for her and then it backfired and she's truly sorry, I don't know, but it didn't look like it.
I was trying to find it. I know I saw the amount somewhere. Oh, here it is. Pay more than $17,000 restitution.
Is that all?
I thought it was more than that, but that's what this one says.
Maybe that's a percentage, but I think it was, it had to be more than that. The way they talked, all the manpower and all the resources they used, it had to be more than 17,000.
Well, that's what this says. She pled guilty and was sentenced to probation and will pay more than 17,000 restitution.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
And must also provide that she continues mental health counseling.
No doubt about that.
100 hours of community service.
You should be able to knock that out in no time, though. I mean, what is that?
Nothing.
I think this right here, if you don't get jail time, you're not learning anything.
No.
And I'm not saying a year or 6 months or anything like that, but 2 weeks, something, right?
Yeah.
A month?
Says there should be consequences to your actions, and she's just getting a slap on the wrist.
That's right.
Oh, well. Says the attorneys would not comment on where Russell had been when she disappeared.
See, and that's my point. They were making the big deal that today was the day that she's supposed to let it all out. And she agreed to it, and then not now. See, that stipulation alone right there, if I was the judge, I'd have been like, all right, well, if you don't want to tell us, like you said you was going to, 3 months in the county pen. I wish I had a gavel, because I'd hit it right now. What if I just kept a gavel in my back pocket, and every time I felt like I said something that was real important or a
You'd
statement,
be doing that all the time.
I would.
You think everything you say is important.
It is. I don't think I know.
Oh, God. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
So let's get on a happier subject. So we celebrated a big thing this past Sunday.
That's right. We did. I think I know where you're going.
Anyway, we had a special day this past Sunday at our church.
Yeah, because we hadn't mentioned this at all.
I don't think so. It's been 20 years in the making. Would you say that? I mean, I know it's been 20 years, but...
What is this big making that you're talking about?
Building a new sanctuary for our congregation. And it's all in God's timing. So, I mean, just wasn't right back then, and now it is. And we have a great facility that our older folks can come in. And because our other facility, you had to...
It's on different levels.
It was an incline.
Yeah, we've got steps here and steps there.
And we're growing. The Lord's blessing us. And so this Sunday we had a celebration service.
But before you get all into that, let's go back to this started 18 months ago. We broke ground 18 months ago.
But the whole project started 20 years ago.
The whole project's been a long time. That's right. And then we've just, recently in the last few years really started, stepping it up. Several years ago, we started really getting into it where we had plans drawn and all this stuff, and then got quotes and all this. And then a couple of years passed, and then when we revisited it, like one of the quotes from one of the contractors, they were actually out of business. Just little things like that. It was just like, so we basically kind of, not really started back over again. But anyway, we kind of started hitting it really, pretty hard, getting this thing rolling. We voted on it. We're all in, and we went forward. And like I said, 18 months ago, we broke ground. It seemed like it was going to take forever. And then, of course, the next thing you know, it's here. And it's a beautiful building. It really
is. It's unreal. It's still not believable.
I know.
Like, I still don't feel like it's real. I guess because I'm not always in the sanctuary during preaching, because I help out a lot in the nursery. So it just, I don't know. It's just weird.
So this church was formed in 1914, I believe. And so if you hear
it's over 100 years old.
Right. So you might have heard our dogs. We've got them in here, and we've got, I hate to change topics real quick, but we have cameras. And so when they go off, we get a notification.
That wasn't a camera.
Okay. But if we get a notification, the dogs have learned that the sound of that notification.
That one and Life 360, when Nicholas gets home, they go crazy.
They have figured out that means somebody's here. And of course, when you got 2 little bitty ankle biters, they're going to bark at anything. So go back to sleep.
Anyway.
So 1914, is that right?
I don't know if that's right. I know it's over 100 years old.
Is it 100? Was it 1900?
1900.
So it's 124 years old. I think that's right.
Is that right?
I think so. Because we actually had a flag.
Here we are talking about something we don't even know about.
I knew it because we've got a flag that was flown at the Capitol when they commemorated our 100th anniversary. And now I'm thinking that was in 2000. But now is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That
we will bring that back next week, and we will find out the details.
Yeah.
I worked there, and I can't even believe I can't remember.
So back to the whole thing, the church was slowly pieced together, I guess you'd say. It was, they did renovations. They added on. It just got bigger and
The
bigger.
part that I work in is the church that's 100 years old.
Right.
It used to be the sanctuary, and
Yeah, now it's an office.
now it's an office
Right.
and a choir room.
And you can actually go downstairs in what is now a Sunday school classroom, but you go into a closet around back, and you go in there and open up another door, and it actually goes underneath the old church, and there's an old furnace, and I mean, it's really neat. But so they've added on an education building probably 20 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
Big.
because
It's
it was there when we got there.
right.
and
So
we've been
it's
there
2 layers.
14 or 15.
Is there 2 layers? 2 stories.
2 layers?
Yeah, it's not a cake. But the downstairs,
hungry?
yeah,
You
the
just ate.
downstairs is a daycare during the week, and then it's our children's church. On Sunday, well, on Wednesday and Sunday, and but anyway, so the whole deal was, you come around from the back, you've got a ramp, or you got to go up steps. If you're handicapped, or if you just mobility wise, if you have trouble with things, we'll get you in the building, but it's a challenge sometimes. Okay, so that was the whole plan with this. So now we're on one level playing field, so to speak. We've got an elevator now that'll take you up to in the ed building. We've got all new Sunday school classrooms down 2 halls.
Room to grow.
Room to grow. We can fit 500 plus in the sanctuary, something like that. If we have all of our chairs out, and if it ever, met the requirements for that. When
it does.
Right. We lost our balcony. We have a balcony in our other sanctuary.
So now some of our people don't know where they're going.
Right. So this past Sunday.
Because us Baptists.
That's right.
We like to sit in the back.
Yep. Backseat Baptist.
I've changed, though. I like to sit in the front.
So this past Sunday was our, celebration. So we had some guest speakers, a lot of people we hadn't seen in a while, visitors from other churches. We had a packed house. Had to put out more chairs. Just great. God's working in the church. Just great things. This Sunday, hopefully the same thing. Then we've got Easter. It'll be Palm Sunday this Sunday, Easter the next Sunday. So, so that's what we've been doing. Any little bit of time we have and going down there, we clean. We're doing this. We're just trying to been trying to hurry to meet this March 17th deadline of when we were going in for the first service, and we did it.
We did it. It's a lot of man hours.
So we just haven't never mentioned anything about it, but pretty much we were down there a lot, just trying to take care of things and getting it ready.
A lot of people put in a lot of hard work.
They did. We've got so many people that aren't afraid to volunteer, and will do anything. If they're asked, they'll do it. And they really stepped up for this project. This was a big project. Of course, we have a contractor and all that did, the legwork on this. But there was a lot of other stuff. Like we had a lot of the men that would come out there certain times during the week when they had to do certain things with what were the things they laid down for the grass?
I don't know what they're
I can't
called,
even think what it's called. It's
rolls of hay or something.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody did something to help, and it just came together. So
it was nice.
It was. It's a beautiful church. Maybe I can put a picture of that. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. We actually a few Saturdays ago, we met down there, several of us, because we had a
video.
We had a drone that was gonna actually take, of course, aerial footage of the sanctuary, and was actually gonna fly down into the parking lot. We're going to open up the front doors. He was going to come in the front door.
It did do that.
And it did. That's what it was going to do that day. I'm just saying. Yeah. So it did that. It came into the foyer. We opened up the doors of the sanctuary, and it came in there. And then that was part of the video presentation that they did this past Sunday, which I didn't get to see. But that's okay.
You can watch us on Facebook.
Yeah. So yeah, just great things happening in our church, and I pray that it's the same thing with anybody's churches out there. God's working. Don't forget. All right. So what else you got this week? What is the deal? I keep seeing this thing with Kate Middleton. Is that her name? Middleton.
She's sick. she's in the hospital. She's no show. They
Some people said she's
photoshopped her picture or something. I don't know all the details, so I really can't talk on it. But,
rumors that she's passed away.
I mean, some people are like, is this like Diana all over again?
And they said that there's like a body double.
Yeah.
But then some people said they've seen her. There was a picture that came out that I heard that it was her and her mother, I think, in a car. So,
I don't know.
But this whole thing about it was a picture that was photoshopped. It was
a kids or something.
Yeah, it was
right?
a picture that was taken. I saw the picture. They said it was taken from a magazine cover, and then they'd stopped. Her kids were all around. Anyway, they were showing. I didn't see the actual picture. The picture I saw was where they had all these little circles and dots showing you what they thought was fake and how somebody's hand wasn't right, and a shirt wasn't fitting correctly.
Well, if you point out things like that, you can make somebody think it's not right.
Any picture that we've got, we could probably do the same thing.
You could do that.
But I think what it was is if you went back and you found this exact picture, that it was just a dead giveaway. I mean, if that's the case, then they're caught, they're busted. So I don't know. Why would you not? If she's got medical, we know she's had a surgery, and she stayed in the hospital for a while. I don't know. I don't keep up with this stuff.
I don't know.
I was trying to.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I was
we watched those shows off of Netflix. About the Queen and all that.
Hey, if y'all haven't seen,
interesting. I just think that family's interesting. But
did it come out a year or was it 2 years ago? The Queen on Netflix.
I don't remember.
We watched it.
We watched a couple of them, didn't we, or something?
Or
was it all one?
Well, that one season, it was probably 10 or 12. I don't know how many episodes, but it was good. And it progressed from when the Queen was young, and then when she became Queen all the way. So it was kind of neat to see how she aged, how the, actors and actresses changed after a few,
weird.
Yeah, it was, once you get used to one actor now, he's gone and he's older, But yeah, that was good. That was a good show.
We'll have to see how that plays out this week.
I don't understand how they have no control, really. But they're such royalty.
They have nothing.
What'd you say? They're such royalty.
Yeah.
Okay.
they're like.
But they have no control. But they're such a crucial
don't.
part of that society over there.
Wow.
I'll never understand. Lucky them, I guess.
Really?
I guess I wouldn't want to be a part of it.
Well, some of them apparently, don't. They trying to
apparently
leave.
Harry and Meghan.
They don't want to be a part.
No. But back to Kate. The thing, if something's really wrong with her, whatever, well, just put a statement out there and say, she's sick. And
because it's about like the dude that had the surgery and the president didn't know about it. Who had the surgery was in the hospital. Yeah. The white dude, security dude. No,
I don't remember his title now. I wish you'd have mentioned this earlier. I could have looked it up, so I don't look. I know exactly what you're talking about. He didn't let anybody know.
It's called old age, and we can't remember.
Oh my goodness, it's not old age. It is not.
Just own it. It is. No.
There's like a chain of command type thing, and he didn't tell anybody.
He didn't tell anybody.
He told no one.
He was in the hospital having surgery.
And guess what? He still got his job. Anybody else?
Yeah.
But
anyway.
So I would be like, if I've got a spokesman for my family or whatever,
just tell them. What's
I'm
the
just
big
going to say, this is what I'd say. Kate's got some medical issues, nothing serious, but leave us alone.
Yeah,
that's it. We're fine. She'd do a whole lot.
Keep your nose out of my business.
That's right.
I got to take care of my health, and I'll see you on the flip side. I mean,
I think a lot
leave them alone.
I think a lot of time, it's just like this Photoshop picture. If they hadn't have done that, they were trying to make things better or cover something up by doing that, and what'd it do?
Makes everybody talk.
Did a whole 180, and then it backfired. So just don't do anything like that. My goodness, everybody's so scared. They gotta hide something. Their image, people's image, is so important to certain people, And then you got these people that have got to know what's going on. I don't have to know what's going on over there. I don't have to know what's going on here, especially when it comes to like an actress, an actor, a singer. Some things are, kind of interesting, but it doesn't rule my world.
As it shouldn't.
No. That's like some of these shows on TLC. What is TLC turned into?
Not what it used to be.
It's not the Learning Channel. What does it stand for now? Is it still called the Learning Channel?
I think so.
I mean, and they've turned it into, it's little people, my Little World or what are all these? If not that, it's like you get married to somebody you don't know, or was it a blind marriage, or what are all these?
Yeah, I don't know.
My 90-day fiance. That's one of them.
Is that your show?
No, that is not. But my goodness, I mean, who do you really like? Who sits down and watches this stuff?
I like little people.
Yeah,
I like that
yeah,
show.
I know. Yeah, I'll walk in there, and I think last night, matter of fact, I walked by.
Yeah.
When was the last night you had it on?
Yeah.
I'll always ask you questions. Yeah, I'll ask you questions like, they've got another kid, with the one they just had like their third kid or something like that. I was like, wow. Yeah. But Harry and Meghan, they're like, talk about two lost people. I don't know who controls that relationship, and I don't know. For somebody that don't want to be out, out in public, they sure are having a hard time keeping from doing it. No comment from you?
No comment, because I don't really know about it, so I can't really talk about it.
All right, we ate, what's it called?
I don't really know what it's called. Let me tell you what it's called.
It's chicken
Let me tell you
noodles.
what it's called. It's called, I got it off of TikTok. It was a viral crockpot dinner. I love dinners in the crockpot. You just put it in there, you come home, you cook some noodles, and you're done. We're eating supper by 5 o'clock. I love it. It was chicken with, what's that sauce called? Buffalo Wild Wing sauce, Parmesan garlic. Then you put cream cheese in it, Parmesan cheese, and let it cook. Then shred your chicken. Did you know you could shred your chicken with the hand mixer? That's the best tip ever. So ladies, if you don't, and you cook chicken, shred your chicken with the hand mixer. Instead of getting your 2 forks and pulling it apart or pulling it apart with your hand.
We'll make sure to put that in the show notes.
Hand mixer.
Because that might be the most important part of this episode.
Then you cook your noodles, and
that's
supper's
crucial.
done.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, that's good. That's real good. And then we had garlic bread or something.
Cheesy bread.
Cheesy bread. And the, what is it, air fryer? Man, if y'all don't have an air fryer.
I hardly ever use this oven anymore.
Go get you an air fryer.
I'm about to get another one.
Because that's the same thing as, what was the Instapot. When we first got the Instapot, it's like, this is a game changer. Doing potatoes, because you're saving so much time. How long does it take to do a potato in there?
Like 20 or 25 minutes.
Is it that long?
Depending on how big your potatoes are.
Okay, so it's longer than I thought, but still, it's a lot quicker.
But to do like ribs and stuff.
Oh, you have never had
ribs.
If you put ribs in that,
and then you put the ribs in the Instapot, and then you take it out and put it in the air fryer and get your barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah.
What's the word for it?
Please stop talking.
Caramelized. I can't think of the word. Yes.
I'm not even hungry, and that sounds so good. See, that's
pork chops.
Who eats ribs out in the open? If you're going to talk about ribs for a second,
Jody don't. I will.
Ribs is one thing that I will not order if we're out somewhere.
Yeah, Jody will.
I'm like,
he likes them, but he won't eat them out.
That's like in the comfort of my own home. I'm going to eat ribs. I'm not eating them out because I just feel like I'm just making such a mess.
They're ribs. You're supposed to make a mess.
I know, but
They're better when you make a mess.
I look like a toddler's face when I'm eating it.
That's all right.
No, it's not all right.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got a few questions for you.
I got a question.
My ears, thank you for that. That was loud.
I'm a loud person.
See, this little mixer, it'll adjust it on the recording, but when you're actually loud in my headphones right now, you're loud.
I've been told that a lot.
I can turn you down, but when you come in hot to the mic like that, it's still loud on my end. Yikes.
I've been told that a lot.
Yeah. So you
told me to get in the mic.
Well, I'm glad. I just like you got a better attitude tonight.
At church, they tell me to get out of the mic.
Well, singing.
In here, get in the mic.
Well, just remember, just the opposite of whatever
I guess because I can't sing, so they say, turn you down.
But I do like your attitude tonight. So much better.
Whatever. I'm going to knock you out.
I wish you just a little bit more. Bringing it, just
I can't bring it no more.
I had high hopes for this episode, and it was going good, and then something happened.
You about to get in trouble.
Something that we've had to edit out.
You about to get in trouble.
And then we had to.
He stays in trouble.
We had to have a little discussion.
He stays in trouble.
Yeah, a little prayer meeting in here, and then we had to start back.
He had to apologize.
Well, no apologies. Had to hit that pause button on this recorder.
He had to apologize.
All right, so you may ask my question.
You go ahead. I got one question.
I don't know if good thing that I edit this because I can control.
You will leave this.
I can control
You
it.
will leave it in there.
I just got like.
I will not podcast with you anymore. You have to go find you some more friends.
That's doing yourself a favor, ain't it? She's being really mean. She's mouthing stuff at me right now. These are little simple things like this right here. What do you think about QR codes?
Okay, in the beginning, I hated them. Like, I'm like, nobody uses these things. And now, I like them. I can create my own. They're good for my business. You can't talk.
I do feel like I interrupt you, but it's like if I have something on my mind, I need to get it out there because it'll leave real quick.
That's how I feel. Okay. Like, I butt in all the time, but I can't help it. If I don't say it, it'll be gone, and, like, I don't remember it.
I do like seeing some of our older generation when it comes to trying to figure out the QR code, when they try and take a picture of the QR code instead of just going on their photo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
No, what are you saying?
I have seen many of an older person, older than me, so that kind of keeps it wide open. But they go to their photos on their phone.
Oh, instead of going to their camera.
Well, they go to their camera. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They go to their camera and then they take a picture of the QR code
instead of hitting the button.
Instead of when it comes up hitting like you're supposed to.
Website.
Yeah, and they can't figure out that. And I understand it. If you're not been told, or if you don't want to do it every once in a while, but I do get
you get a kick out of it.
I get a little giggle out of it. Yeah, because I don't correct them. I just watch because somebody will help them.
Well, why don't you step up and help them?
They don't need my help.
Yes, they do.
Oh, no, they don't. I do like QR codes. I think whoever came up with that, nicely done. We used one on our booth.
Yeah.
All right, you may ask another one?
Go.
All right, this is another one. Do people still use alarm clocks? Not talking about the alarm on your phone. I'm talking about the actual go to Walmart, spend $20 on an alarm clock.
Well, I bought Nicholas one for Christmas, and he ain't used it yet.
I know. I wish he would.
He hadn't used it yet.
He needs it because he doesn't keep his phone. We don't allow phones in the bedroom or anything like that. He leaves his phone charging in the living room. Or actually,
I'm really surprised he hadn't just said, "I'm taking my phone in there."
He's scared of you. That's why.
Well, good.
I know.
I'm not his friend yet.
Well,
I'm still parenting a little bit.
He's a good kid. I say kid. He's a young adult. That's what he is.
Yeah.
So him with his job and all this kind of stuff, you always, before you headed off to work, you had to make sure
I think he liked that, though. Like, I think he likes me waking him up.
Well, I would like a soft voice waking me up instead of a burn, too.
Yeah.
I just wondered because, and I'm talking about, I'm not the one that you hand crank and it does, I'm talking about the digital clock that you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if, can you go to Walmart and there's still a section over there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who does that?
I don't know.
I have to use the one on my phone.
I know. I hear it every morning.
I know. And I think this morning at
3:20.
Yeah.
Oof.
That was the second time I hit it, I think. Might have been the third. I don't know. It was rough. A lot of mornings are rough. It used to be easy. Well, it's never easy. I think the worst, and I get off track so bad. I think the worst feeling in the world is when you first wake up and having to get up. Because that is just a terrible feeling. Because when you want to stay there, like, can I just stay in the bed and just sleep just a little bit longer?
Yeah.
That's just a terrible feeling. I think that's the worst feeling there is. Just my opinion.
That's why I'm late for work every day.
Yeah.
Oops.
How long do you go with eating leftovers? How many days do you let it go? I think, well, I'll let you.
When we first got married, we didn't do leftovers. We didn't like them. Like, when it was just me and you.
And then we found out it had to be a part of life because you can't just throw away food.
Yeah. We never did leftovers. But now I'm like, y'all better eat that food because I ain't cooking nothing else. I don't care if it's been in there 5 days. I've told you every day to eat it. I crack myself up sometimes.
I was going to say, you sounded very harsh.
I'm going to get the giggles.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. So,
I say 2 days. It depends on what it is.
Mine is 2 days.
I think 2 days.
And I do. I think it's got to depend on what it is.
Yeah. Now, soup and chili.
We can go 3. Maybe.
I can go. It depends on if I eat it for lunch and supper. I won't do lunch and supper, but I'll do one or the other. And if I do lunch one day, I might not do it supper. I might do it lunch the next day.
Well, I said 3. I'm taking that back. I don't know if I do 3 or not. 2 is a limit. I'm really
You've done
specific.
3 on soup.
Maybe so.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
done 3 on soup.
Yeah, some
I've
of the,
done soup all week.
And then some of the stuff, it's not that it's questionable if it's like getting bad. It's just like
It's just not good leftover.
Yeah. That's the same thing with milk.
But you eat tacos leftover.
You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Ugh.
Now, tacos are terrible leftover. Like if they're in the
But
fridge and the next
when
morning.
you drench them with that barbecue sauce.
Just forget about that part. But I'm saying because it's stuck to the wrapper and all that stuff, you have to fight it. So, yeah, I don't.
Sometimes it's just like, he's so hungry, he's just going to eat it.
You know,
I'm like, I'll fix you something.
I think if you were going to save like tacos from like Taco Bell or whatever, it would be wise to like take it out of the wrapper and put it in like a Ziploc bag and then put it, cause just to keep you from fighting that paper because it's going to stick to you. You might as well just not even open it.
just eat the paper.
That's right. So back to milk. I have a hard time, which I don't drink milk. I couldn't tell you the last time I drank it. Not that I don't like it, but I don't know. Cereal, it's fine, but if it's got like today's date, I'm not touching it, even if it's a.
Well,
I don't care.
just used milk that went out yesterday.
Look,
in the meal that I made tonight.
If you're cooking with it, that's fine, whatever. And if I don't know about it, that's fine. But if I'm physically going to the fridge and I want a swig of milk, which I won't ever do that.
You
But I'm just saying
milk.
that even if it says if it's going out tomorrow, I probably would not swig it. And I'm not smelling it. I am not smelling milk to see
You
if it's
can't even smell.
I don't have a good smeller, but I am not smelling it. That's just milk scares me. I don't know. I think one time when I was in grade school or whatever, it seems like I drank milk. Back then you had it out of a little carton, out of a paper carton, and there was like some.
Do they not still have those?
I don't know. I'm not in schools. I don't know. They have little chunks or something came out one night. I always remember that. Now it might have been a dream or it might not be real or whatever, but it seems like there were some chunks that came out of a thing of milk that I drank one time many, many years ago, and I think that's why I'm kind of scared of it. I don't think I've ever just got a glass of milk, half a glass, and just like sipped on it. No. And if
to get it to dunk your Oreos in.
Say I'm not even
like that.
But I would think if I'm going to do that, it has got to be like ice cold.
Yeah.
It can't get close to room temperature
lukewarm.
or anything like that. No. Ooh, that's terrible. I'd rather eat 76 hot dogs than drink a glass of milk. Let's see. What do you think about Buc-ee's?
I think it's overrated.
You think so?
I like it. I mean, when we go buy one, we go in there. I like it, but you don't let me shop, so I think it's overrated.
So I used to like Love's Travel Center, whatever it's called. We had one come to our town. It's probably been almost 10 years now since it got here, but that was a big deal. It had like 30 pumps or something like that, and it's got your Subway and your McDonald's and all this stuff. And it was just a huge store, we thought, and all this. And then when this Buc-ee's came to, I don't know, the nearest Buc-ee's is what, probably an hour and a half away? Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, but when we went to one, we went up to Huntsville and stopped by one. And when I saw it from the distance, I was like, what in the world is that thing? And when
we videoed it or something, didn't we?
I videoed it. And I was going to do something with the GoPro. I took the GoPro in and videoed, I think. I think so, inside the store. But I was amazed at how many gas pumps. And how do you manage that?
Every one of them had somebody at it, too.
And the barbecue sandwiches and just anything. And there's people bringing trash. How do you manage that? I've come from a background of having to deal with stuff like this, and I'm like, this is overwhelming. If you look at the sign on the door, the start and pay for like an assistant. I mean, it's like $125,000. Yeah, I was like, what? You
can run the car wash.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know what? That's because you got a lot to do. You're not having time to sit down or anything like that. But when we walked around in there, it was anything and everything you wanted. But it was a madhouse.
It's like a novelty store.
It's overwhelming. It was almost like the foyer at our church this past Sunday.
Yeah,
it was overwhelming with people, and I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it was amazing because I'm like,
this is funny because yesterday I was really thinking of telling you, hey, let's just take a trip to Buc-ee's. I really thought about that just because, like, we used to go to, where was it? They give me a 5, and we would go to Buc-ee's.
We would go to Pulaski, Tennessee.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just got thinking about that yesterday, and I was like, we should go to Buc-ee's this weekend.
Pulaski, Tennessee is where a store was called Give Me a Five that on Saturdays, it was a return center for Amazon, and anything in there, you'd go up there and you'd stand in line, and when they opened up the doors, you went in there and there's just bins of merchandise, and all it is returns from Amazon. Some stuff's broke, some stuff's never been opened. Some stuff I found, I paid $5 for a digital watch that was worth $149. It was still had the wrapper and all that stuff on it. Because once you load up you get 2 bags and you can fill those bags up. And after that,
you have to check out.
You have to check out. But before you do that, you go and you find a spot up against a wall. You bring out everything that you got, and you're Googling it, and you're taking pictures, and you're finding out what the value and stuff is. And I found out this watch, the value of it. I thought it was just a watch band for like an Apple watch, but it wasn't. It was an actual digital watch, or a smart watch. And I was like,
we met some nice people.
We did. People would come from all around.
All around they would come.
Yeah, and it was fun. It took us...
We got to find us some more.
It was 2...
And take the GoPro.
Yeah. So it was...
And we could do a podcast on that.
Yeah, it was 2 hours and 5-minute drive.
And he'd get me up at
4
o'clock.
No, we would leave.
We left at 4.
We left at 4.
So we got up about...
To get there at 6.
To get a ticket. To sleep in the car.
Yeah, we got a ticket, and that was your number in line. And so then you could go back to your car, and when it got closer to 7 o'clock... Everybody got in line with what number was on your ticket.
Yeah, we'll have to find us something like that.
Yeah, but it was really fun, and that's another source that we used to sell stuff at our booth at that time. But I didn't want to get on the Pulaski thing because we were talking about Buc-ee's. But I was thinking, how do they, like, tanker trucks filling up the gas? How does all that work? You've got so many pumps.
I bet they come in.
You were saying.
So the tankers, they just got to be on, like, a rotating schedule. They've, probably come... How long does a tank of gas last?
On an 18-wheeler?
No, at the gas station.
Oh, yeah. Well, it just all depends on how much business you're doing.
Well, a Buc-ee's.
Because
That's what I'm saying. They got to be getting a tanker every 2 hours.
Yeah.
They got to be.
When I thought about Buc-ee's, for some reason, I was thinking, I've got to have tires for my truck. I've got to go this weekend and get new tires, which is going to be nice. Because it's going to be like probably almost $1,000 for stinking tires. Crazy. But I was thinking convenience store and tires. You remember last year when I almost got killed by a tire?
Oh, yes.
So
that was crazy.
Yeah. I was at a different convenience store. You know, all these convenience stores I end up at. And I was behind my trailer, bent down, and something out of the corner of my eye, something was about to get me or whatever, and I kind of just hunkered down a little bit, and a tire 3 or 4 foot behind me bounced right by me and went right, past me and went into the property that was beside me.
But it was close. It was close to you.
Yeah, I'm saying 3 or 4 feet. I don't know. I mean, it might have been 18 inches, but it was there. It bounced. Yeah, if I'd have stepped back 1 or 2 steps, it would have killed. If it didn't kill me,
it would have hurt.
I'd have been in trouble no matter what. So it ended up being, well, I'll tell you this. So I watched that tire bounce and bounce and bounce, and then a truck pulled up beside me, and the side window came down, and the guy said, he said, that thing almost killed you. And I was like, yeah. He said, it came off that log truck that just went by. He said, I've been behind them for about 5 or 10 miles. And he said, right down the road, he said, he lost another one. He said, one of those tires shot up probably 50 feet in the air. He said, so that's actually the second tire that had lost. And anyway, I appreciate him stopping by. Anyway, I looked over there, and the person that's working inside the store is out right there at the gas pumps talking to somebody else, and they're looking at something, and I just thought they saw the tire come off. What I didn't know after I walked over there was the tire came off. If somebody would have been pumping gas at this, it would have the same thing. It probably would have killed them. But the tire, it was not just a 18-wheeler tire. It was the rim. It was everything.
The whole thing.
So it was probably a couple 100 pounds. Hit the gas pump, ricocheted off that, and that from that ricochet is what almost took me out and bounced back there. And I took a picture. I went over there to find the tire and rolled the tire back over there in case. I wish I'd have known everything that happened. I wish I'd have known it hit the pump at the time and all that stuff, because I would have told the guy that pulled over to take off and follow it, because we still don't know who it was.
Crazy.
There's cameras at
You got to know that you've lost 2 tires.
Yeah, there's cameras at that store, and I was just out of view. You could see a little bit of like a tire, but it wasn't. It was grainy and anything like that. But that shook me up to where, I was like, I didn't do anything the rest of the day.
I know.
I was like, got time to reflect, which I know I'm fine and all, but it really is like, you know what? That was really close. Something that I don't want to be taken out by a tire. There's several things I want.
What's the odds?
What's the odds of getting hit by a tire? But I took a picture of it. If I can find that picture, I'm going to post it.
Post it.
The death tire. But I can't believe, it did a number on that gas pump.
Jody's got the stories.
I do. If you will
questions lead to stories.
If you will jog this old noggin of mine, something's going to come out. Might not be good. But look, I didn't rant tonight.
No rant.
I did a good job. I just got
I got a question.
Do you want me to keep going? You got
No.
Okay, you ask that, and I think I'll have one more question after that. Maybe not.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
I got him scared because I texted him earlier today.
I didn't know what you meant. You text me and said...
Oh, yeah, I said, I got a question. And he's always talking about the podcast. And so I thought he would think of that, but he just said, what? And I'm like, oh, he thinks I really mean I got a question right now. Like, I'm sure he's going like, what in the world is she going to ask me to do now?
I thought something was up. I was like, because if you had a question, you just would have called me.
Yeah.
But then now you got to, so I'm starting to think, what have I done? What have I,
What does she want me to do? Yeah. What have I got to build now?
Yeah, anyway, I didn't know it was about the podcast.
So, okay, so my question is, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would you tell your younger self?
My goodness, this is deep.
This is a good one.
I wish you'd have gave me a heads up on this one.
Nope.
How much time we got? Y'all might hear a little bit of dead air till I can come up with something. What would I tell my younger self?
What would you tell your younger self?
Not to be as stupid as I was for so long, because I was pretty stupid for many years.
That's good. So mine's probably a stupid answer, but getting older and going through your body changing, your skin's changing, and all this mess, I would go back and tell my younger self,
take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Use skincare. Take care of your skin.
That was the first thing that came to my mind, was use more lotion on my arms and
because my face is so dry right now.
That's the last thing on my mind. I would not skincare and something else.
Well, you're a boy. I'm a girl.
I'm a man. I'm not a boy. I'm a man.
Sorry. You're a man. I've been dealing with this dry skin and all this, and my makeup not looking good on my face. And I don't know, I was just sitting there thinking today, if I could just go back to in my 20s and start using the skincare, I probably wouldn't be the way it is now. So I just thought that was a good question. What would you tell your younger self?
It would be like, sit down, younger self. We're going to be here a while. I got a lot of stuff to cover, and you better be taking notes. That's all I can tell you.
You better get that phone out and take some notes.
That's right. Yeah.
What are you talking about? We didn't have phones.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, because there's so many things that I would need to tell myself.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Very good question. Well, all these questions about leftovers and alarm clocks look pretty dumb now that you brought that one up.
Don't ask for another one. That's all you get.
Okay. You don't want me to ask this one more?
I think we've done enough.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah, save it for next week.
Yeah, I left.
Jody likes these questions, so I guess that'll be a every week thing.
We kind of hit and missed on this one. When I ask these questions, I'm wanting people to think about it too. I'm not just asking you. I'm like, whoever's listening, I'm going to be like, some of them are kind of just simple. Like the QR. I was thinking today, I saw the QR code and I was like, what do you think about the QR code? Because I think that's pretty ingenious. And how much time did that take to figure out?
How can you just create a QR code with anything? That's just
what gets in your mind? What causes?
Here we are back on the first question.
Yeah, what causes that? All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Once again,
thank you for listening. Thank you for taking time out of your day. If you like us, hit that follow button, subscribe button, whatever it's called.
We weren't going to go through that again.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, Mondays.
Leave us a comment. Nobody's
Please.
left us a comment.
We've had very few, and that's fine.
Yeah. And maybe you can't. I don't know. I'm used to, here I go again. I'm used to TikTok, and I tell everybody, you know, with selling my nails or whatever, leave me a comment. Let me know. So I'm just used to saying that. So, I mean, I don't know on these podcasts, like on Spotify, can you leave comments?
Yeah, it asks you got a question. That's not what I would do.
Well, go on our social media, like on our Facebook, and
if you wanted to leave
a comment,
anybody's going to go to one of the social. We're on Twitter too, or X, whatever. So you can go there, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And what else?
I think that's all.
And then we got a webpage. So
all right, folks, it's been fun. We'll do it again next week.
Appreciate you.
Catch us on Mondays.
See ya.
Out of here.